is up and running. Excellent. Excellent. So just open up strip a little early. OBS is holding strong. Everything looking good. Excellent. Excellent. What's over here? Perfect. Perfecto. All right. Testing, testing, testing. A 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing, testing, testing. A 1 2 1 2 1 2. I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. Should have got my email alert for the stream. Excellent. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Boop, boop. Awesome. Okay. Stream is healthy. Perfect. A minute into the stream right now. Perfect. Excellent. All right. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Ow. All right. Stream just started up. Everything's kind of quiet right now. Just making sure everything looks good for the stream. I'm probably the only one in the stream right now currently. Hopefully more people will come into the stream shortly. I'm hoping. Let's see who we got besides me. Just me. Oh well. I will wait for more people. Wait for more people. Excellent. Stream's just getting started, guys. Stream's just getting started. Excellent. Excuse me. Woo. 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 All right. Hopefully people will be interested in the stream this week. It's going to be something different. Going to do some different stuff in this week's stream. Hopefully you guys will like it. The drink of choice today is Mountain Dew Baja Blast. So I hope you guys are interested. Of course, everything for my streaming is a VOD, video on demand. So if you didn't catch the stream live, you can always hit me up on a video on demand. But you won't be able to ask any questions, unfortunately. Stream's just getting started right now. We're waiting a couple minutes for some people to come into the stream. Right now, nobody's in the stream yet, which is okay. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people in this stream, to be quite honest. It is more of a tinfoil hat sort of, not a conspiracy theory, but more of a tinfoil hat because a lot of people don't really believe in the supernatural and things like that. Supernatural, paranormal, stuff like that. People don't really believe in those sort of things, and it's going to be different. Hey, Jackie, how's it going? Thank you for coming into the stream. How's the stream sound to you right now? Sound okay? It just started up a second ago. I just wanted to make sure everything is kosher before we really get into it. All right. I think she left. Hold on, let's see what we got here. There you go. Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. Good now. Excellent. Thank you. So, hello, Keen. How's it going? Thank you for coming into the stream. Excellent. This stream is going to be a little different than my streams I normally do. This is going to be, as I was starting to mention, a little bit different sort of thing. I want to touch base on stuff that are related to the paranormal and the supernatural. I mentioned in last week's stream that I wanted to do it this week's stream. Next week's I'm going to do conspiracy theories, but this one's going to be about paranormal and the supernatural. We'll give it another minute or so, and then we'll kick it off. I just want to make sure no one's missing the stream. Let me test the, make sure the website is working right for my test subscriber. Right there perfectly. It should show up in a second. Make sure it's okay. Looking at it. There's a delay. There's like a 10-15 second delay. There it is. Perfect. Excellent. Excuse me. Perfect. So yeah, so we're going to be talking about the paranormal and the supernatural. Specifically four key points. I'll be touching on stuff like spirits, demonic activity, psychic ability, which can be chock full of a lot of things, ESP, telekinesis, anything that would be paranormal as far as psychic ability wise goes. And of course, UFOs, that would be kind of all encompassing for, let's say, aliens, Area 51, alien abductions, things like that. So let's kick it off to probably the I won't say the weakest thing on this whole group of stuff, but stuff that's probably one of the most common talked about thing, and that are spirits, the departed, the ability of people after they've passed on to come back and communicate from beyond the grave. Do you guys believe in it? That'll be my question first to the audience, to you guys, to both Jackie and Keen. Do you guys believe in the supernatural? Let me know. And more importantly, have you actually had any supernatural activity, meaning any type of communication, interaction with the spirits at all? Both good spirits or bad spirits. That could fall into the realm of, let's say, ghost hunters as well. Me personally, I mentioned, I think in last week's stream, actually, that I had a spiritual sort of occurrence that happened to me I want to say about 10 years ago, when I was on the way home, driving home from work, and I was literally falling asleep at the wheel. And when I was falling asleep, the car veered off the road and I didn't hit the curb, but it was riding against the median of like the where I would turn. I was riding against the soft shoulder, so to speak. And I can swear to the day I'm dead that I heard in the passenger side next to me, they said, basically my first name, they said, in this case, we'll say Rook. Rook, wake up. It was clear as day, as if I heard them sitting right next to me, my passenger side. It freaked the hell out of me. I know it was a female voice. It hit me out of the blue. I had no clue who it was. Extremely surprised. It shook me. I was very, very rattled. Keen, you've actually had a situation with with spirits at all? It scared the hell out of me. I'll tell you that right now. Scared the hell out of me. I was completely surprised by it. Didn't know what was going on, but I knew that was maybe... I would think you would maybe call that your guardian angel. That's what I would think happened to me. That's what it felt like to me, at least from my experience. I do believe in the spirits. I do believe in the afterlife. I do believe there's more to this mortal coil than what we currently have right now. I believe there's more out there. That's why, as I said, there's probably not going to be a lot of people in the stream today, guys, which is fine, because I can talk to a smaller group of people. I have no problem with that at all, as long as you guys like the conversation. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of people in this stream this week, only because it's more of a tinfoil hat sort of aspect. A lot of people don't believe in these sort of things, and at least from my perspective, there's some validity to it. You can't really scientifically track the spirits. You can there's ghost hunting tools you can use, like a white box detector, which will allow you to have white background noise, and you can actually hear voices that would communicate through it. It is something that is real piece of ghost hunting equipment. It is out there, actually. Really cool idea. A lot of ghost hunters used it. I actually watched a couple days ago with me and my girlfriend. We actually watched the Winchester movie. It came out, I think, this year. I want to say either this year or the end of last year. Everyone bashed the movie. It was kind of corny in certain aspects of it, but all in all, I thought it was a pretty cool idea for a movie. It's based, of course, on the Winchester Mystery House. It's a house that Sarah Winchester created back in, I think, the late 1800s, where her husband, which was the guy who he inherited the Winchester rifle company, the repeating rifle, which is basically the gun that won the West. It's a gun that killed many, many, many people, and she was supposedly cursed by all the spirits that her guns have killed, her husband's guns killed. Really cool idea. It's very fascinating, the whole backstory of the Winchester Mystery House. It's out in California. It's eventually a place I want to take a look at somewhere down the line. I think it'd be a very, very cool place to visit. I mean, you have originally had about 600 rooms. It originally they had an earthquake in the late 1800s, which wrecked most of the construction, and I think it has like 160 rooms now. It's a very, very interesting place. I did a little bit of research on it. Very, very interesting sort of a take on the Winchester Mystery House. But I do believe, like I said, I was getting to this whole rambling about spirits in the afterlife. I do think there's more to what we see currently than is really out there. I think there's a lot to do with spirits. I have had activity with spirits before. I have communicated with them. Hey, Nitro, how's it going, sir? Thanks for coming in the stream, sir. Take a look here. See how the stream's going. Perfect. So definitely, it's very, very cool as far as the Winchester Mystery House. Excuse me. Now, as far as spirits, we touched base on that one because I got my note cards here with my notes I wanted to talk about here. Next, let's kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about demonic activity. Do you guys believe in demons or demonic activity? Have you been a part of it? Have you ever seen it happen to you before? Myself, personally, I haven't. But I know people that have had demonic activity. Bobby Mackey, which is a well-known place, it's a bar, has tons of demonic activity. I'm not sure. I think it's somewhere like in maybe the Tennessee area, somewhere in the South. But I know it has tons and tons of activity. Very, very weird place. Never actually been there before. But definitely a very, very weird location. Very, very odd. Very, very odd. Take a look here. Excellent. We have 5 people in chat. Thank you for guys coming in. Excellent. So, do you guys believe in demons at all? I know it sounds very, very weird to be asking that question. Do you believe in demonic activity? Do you believe in the battle for good and evil, heaven and hell? Do you believe in there's demons out there? Do you believe it's something real? Is it tangible? Have you heard about demonic activity? Is it something you've been experiencing or been a part of before in your life? Hit me up, please, in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see here, Keen Snake. Did he say anything to you, Keen? This figure? Do you think it was a spirit? Do you think it's demonic? Or do you think your eyes were playing tricks on you? Interesting, Keen. Very interesting. Very interesting. Did you have any communication with this person? Ah! Especially, you would get something like that, Keen, like a Civil War spirit. You would get a lot of that in areas that had a lot of, let's say, I don't know, if you had a lot of death in the area, if there was a lot of Civil War-based stuff there, I could definitely see things like that happening, absolutely, if you ever had that sort of situation happen. But absolutely, you could have things like that happen. Absolutely. Have you seen the spirit again? You're in Virginia, Keen? Yeah, you probably, if you're in Virginia, you probably had all sorts of Civil War stuff in that area. In the South, absolutely. Heck yeah. I guarantee probably if you were, let's say, if you trying to metal detect in the area or trying to find, let's say, artifacts, you probably stumble across some stuff. Most likely, because usually spirits will usually be attached to some type of item in the area. There's a lot of energy in the area, things like that, and maybe even ley lines. All sorts of things like that could actually trigger those sorts of things to be manifested. Absolutely. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. But did you ever seen them after? Was it only a one-time situation? Oh, you scared me, AA. Woohoo! Did you ever, besides that one situation, Keen, was there ever another one that happened? Have you seen that figure more than once? That would scare the hell out of me. Absolutely. Oh, if you guys didn't notice, I put my Barbara the Martian picture up over there. Only one time, huh? Interesting. So we're just talking about spirits right now. AA. Okay, Nitro, I don't know if you're trying to be silly or you're trying to really state a story. So I don't know what to take by that. No clue. So we're just touching base on spirits right now and talking about demonic activity. AA, have you ever had anything that happened to you? Star Wars collecting hobby. Ever had anything with spirits or demonic activity ever happen to you before? At all? Let me know. That's one drink down. Drink number 2 en route. Baja Blast, Mountain Dew. These small little bottles. So your brother died because of a blackened hand. Okay. Don't know what to say about that. Don't know where to spin that from. Yeah. This is the stuff that you can only get at, normally you can only get this stuff at Taco Bell. But besides that, have you seen any other demonic activity? Do you have you, I mean, I'm not a type of guy that goes messing with like a Ouija board. I'm not going anything crazy like that. I do believe demonic activity is out there. It does exist. It's all sorts of crazy stuff. You drove 20 minutes while asleep on the highway and woke up when a truck passed by. You saw a bright light right before the truck and nobody was hurt. That's all you saw was just you fell asleep at the wheel? Happened to me before. As I mentioned a couple minutes ago. I fell asleep, woke up because a voice told me to wake up. Literally. It was like 2 feet away. Heard it clear as day. Woman's voice that said wake up. Clear as day. I do believe stuff like that is out there. It does exist. It does happen. I think there's more to life than what's going on. Absolutely. Absolutely. Refresh that real quick here. Yeah, I would say that's more angelic. Absolutely. Hell yeah. Absolutely. It would be definitely angelic. I would say guardian angel, if anything else. That would fall into the paranormal and supernatural conversation here. Heck yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm very, very surprised I hit anyone cube. I'm super surprised I didn't hurt myself, hurt my car, hurt anybody. Literally, it was my eyes dozed off for about, I would say, 10 seconds at most. That'd be on the high number. That would be on the high number, about 10 seconds. And I'm surprised I didn't hit anybody or hit or hurt anything. But yeah, I was very, very surprised by it. I could have very much hurt myself or hurt somebody else. I was very, very lucky. Yeah, but I would say it's definitely divine intervention. I would say it's guardian angel. Heck yeah. And it's funny because demonic activities will all something demonic can also pose as angelic. It can also pose as a spirit. It can pose as, let's say, a little girl. Yeah, mine was I was on the left lane to begin with, and when I dozed off, I veered left, and I felt the car shake when I hit. I was hitting to the soft side of the road. The soft shoulder is where I was running the car into, and that caused me to jerk the wheel. But that's when I heard the voice. I know it sounds funny me saying I hear a voice, but that's literally what happened. But like I said, demonic activity can also pose as angelic. It can pose as spirits in disguise. I'm not going to be someone here preaching religion. That's what I do not do that on my channel. I don't preach religion. I don't preach gossip. I preach things that I have either experienced or I have found research, and I can tell you concrete information that either I know about or have found documented, and it can reply that information to my audience. Nope, you're not that late, Ultimate. We're just touching base right now on spirits and demonic activity. That's what we're at right now. We just started about 15 minutes ago. We're just talking about that right now. We haven't jumped too far into the whole spiel yet. Ultimate, do you believe in the spiritual stuff or demonic activity? Have you had any occurrences ever happen to you? Let me know in chat. Let me know, please, what you guys think. Let me know, let me know, let me know. I do not watch Supernatural. I have watched the first season of it. I think maybe 2 or 3 episodes into season 2. And with my girlfriend, I watched the Scooby-Doo episode a couple days ago. Which, from what she advised me, it had nothing to do with the storyline of the actual series. Because I think it's like in the 13th season or something ridiculous like that. So I'm like, I have no clue what's going on. I can barely keep track of who's Sam and who's Dean. I get them all confused all the time. Because I haven't seen that many of the episodes, and I usually get confused of which character is which. Like I said, I was a big fan of Scooby-Doo, so I loved it. That's fine, Cube. You have well right to your belief, well right to your opinion. That's fine. And there are people out there very much similar to your approach. You can't see it unless you can feel it, touch it, taste it, or eat it. So there are people out there. I don't want to use the word skeptic, but they are. I've had it happen to me. I know it's real. I know it's truthful. I know it's factual. Voices usually don't come out of the blue when you're a sane person. So absolutely, it was very, very weird. Caught me completely off guard. I didn't know anything about it going into it. So I was very, very surprised when it did happen to me. But as far as, I steer clear from demonic things in general. I don't do anything with pentagrams. I don't do stuff with Ouija boards. Nothing along those lines. I don't go. That's not how I swing. I don't go in that way at all. But I do know of the stuff. It's very, very powerful stuff. A pentagram. Demonic stuff in general. It's very, very powerful, very nasty stuff. But that stuff is out there. It is absolutely out there. Next is kind of because I got like I said, I got my notes here, so I'm just jotting my notes down. Oh yeah, there's tons of unexplained stuff that's out there that you can't really explain it. Usually it sort of gets pigeonholed into the whole idea of, is it demonic, is it supernatural, is it paranormal, ghost hunting, things like that. I'd love to do eventually a ghost hunt because I've never done one before. I think that would be really, really interesting to do, to see how ghost hunters do things like that, how they use their equipment, which is basically using a gear that's not really designed to track ghosts, not like a ghost buster, but to actually communicate with spirits, hear them so they can communicate back, things like that. Things like mediums. Okay, cool. Cool, yeah. Things like mediums. I absolutely believe in stuff like that. When they can communicate with the afterlife. People think they're crackpots, that they're crazy. Like, nothing like that can really happen. There is no communication with the other side. But there are people out there that it's a legit thing. When you can actually get information from somebody when you provide them with literally nothing. When you give them no backstory, you give them no information, and they can pull facts literally out of thin air. I think that's just an incredible skill to have. It's mind-boggling at most times. And that kind of teeps into the next category here, which is psychic ability. The psychic phenomenon falls into paranormal and supernatural. Things like ESP, things like telekinesis, psychokinesis, pyrokinesis, the ability of manipulating flames with your mind, bending a spoon, mentalism, things like that. All that stuff is legit. All that stuff I think is legit in one way or another, in one shape or another. I'm not saying someone's like Pyro from the X-Men, where they can take, they can light a fire, light a lighter and make it, manipulate the fire in that way. But things like that, I believe there's some science, or that people call it pseudoscience, is another terminology for this sort of stuff, for let's say mentalism. They call it pseudoscience. People like Neil deGrasse Tyson who debunk it to no ends. Again, a person that has to be able to touch it, smell it, taste it, feel it, using some of his senses, of the five senses. If he can't do one of those things, he's going to say this stuff doesn't exist. He's using his intellect to say, you know what? Because things like this can't happen, it can't be true. It can't be documented. But, things like that are real. Things like that can happen. People levitating, not using, parlor tricks, not using, a magic trick. But things like that can happen. The mind's a very powerful weapon. For example, the men who stare at goats were able to basically, knock a goat out with your mind. Things like remote viewing, which is a very cool thing I've actually looked into. Remote viewing is way crazy. In a way, Cube. In a way. A lot of stuff for science fiction can tendency to turn into science fact. A lot of technology has gone that way as well. Where years ago you would say, uh, you know, uh, let's say a Star Trek communicator, when you flip it open, no one would have thought be able to communicate on a small little machine like that, and they came out with flip phones. So there was a trend towards science fiction shifting into science fact. Things like that can absolutely happen. But I mean, things like be able to bend somebody's mind to your whims. Things like that is very very truthful, and I want to talk about that in the next stream. We talk about conspiracy theories and things like the MK Ultra project. That's one thing I want to talk about at length about. There's only one conspiracy I'm not going to touch base on. I'm not going to delve into because it's a very very touchy subject, which is the 9/11 conspiracy. I'm not going to go there. I think that would be a stream all by itself as a 9/11 conspiracy. But I don't want to go there because it's a very, very touchy conspiracy theory. So I'm going to save that for another stream down the road. But next Monday's stream is definitely going to be conspiracy theories. Yeah, absolutely, Jackie. They say Alcatraz is very much haunted. They have tours there. I believe they have tours there. I think they do. Absolutely. No, I'm not going to do that one, Cube. I'm not going to do that one. As much as I believe there is a conspiracy there with 9/11, it's a very, very touchy subject to talk about. A lot of people won't talk about it, and I can understand their hesitance for it. But there's a lot more going on with that day than the government has really let the public know about. Same thing with the JFK assassination. We'll talk about that one next week as well. But as far as psychic ability goes, I was mentioning remote viewing. If you're not familiar with remote viewing, it was a technique basically built upon by, I want to say the CIA. I want to say it's the CIA that was you're able to, using a technique, it's not something that you're born with this ability. It's something that is honed and crafted and manipulated and used where you can actually see a target in another room, another state, another city, around the world. You can get information, you can hear noises and sounds, and document this information. And it is actually a skill, much like a lot of other type of psychic-based skills that can be taught and learned. A lot of people think psychics you have to be born with a gift. A lot of psychic abilities you can be taught and crafted and honed to do something, much like remote viewing. I think it's a very fascinating sort of topic. If you've never looked into it, definitely look it up. It's called remote viewing. It's very, very cool. Very, very different sort of approach. It's basically an espionage tool. It was meant to get intel for intelligence back during war times. I don't think they're using it now. I know they're using it years and years ago, but it was an absolute tool that was used. They made entire divisions of these psychic units that actually would do like remote viewing and things like that. It's very very crazy stuff. But as far as ESP and psychic abilities, do you guys believe in it? Let me know. Hit me up in the chat, please. What do you guys think of it? You think it's all a bunch of BS, or do you think it's something that's out there? You think it's legit? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know. 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 Let's take a look at a couple things here. Excellent. Just taking a look at the stream, making sure everything's good. The stream has not crashed. I think I fixed the OBS issue by doing the reinstall. I've not had any issues with it yet. It's not lagging. I'm not losing packets. Holding 30 minutes strong with no issues. Excellent. You think paranormal? You think psychic ability is not legit, Jackie? Or do you think remote viewing's not legit? Which one? Which one do you think is not legit? The psychic abilities or the remote viewing? And that can be psychic abilities. We could say it's mentalism, ESP, telekinesis. It can be any number of abilities. Let me know. Yep, I'm gonna watch it. I have it on DVR right now. I'm definitely gonna take a look at it. I watched about the first 30 minutes of it. 35 minutes of it, sort of. Yes, you are, my friend. Yes, you are. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. Cool. But as far as psychic ability, I think it's out there. I think there's a lot more than has been really discovered with the human mind, what we can actually do as a species. But I think there's a lot too as far as psychic ability goes. As far as ESP goes, all sorts of stuff for extra sensibility perception. Tongue twister. ESP, definitely. I definitely think there's a lot out there for that. Now let's move on to probably the big one of the whole paranormal and supernatural. We talked about that. Last one, of course, is going to be UFOs, aliens in Area 51. First, let's talk about the big event that triggered the whole alien phenomenon. Of course, that is Roswell. We do know that back in the late 60s, I believe it was. I want to say late 60s, is when something crashed in Roswell, New Mexico, if you're not familiar with the thing that happened. And they claimed it was a flying saucer. It was a craft. I believe in witches. Absolutely. And warlocks. Absolutely. Which is a male witch, if you weren't aware of that. Also, there are things like succubuses, which are demons, which are female sexy demons. And there's male versions of those things called incubuses as well, which are demonic. But as far as Roswell goes, we all know that something crashed there. Yeah, I know. Knowing my luck, they're tapping my line right now, and I'll hear the black helicopters flying over. We do know about Roswell. We do know something crashed there. There was a debris field. They said there were bodies there that were recovered. There was special metals that was recovered. And then they changed their story a day later and said it was a weather balloon. Whatever happened, years and years and years and years later, they found out it was a special type of weather balloon project, Project Mogul, which was a special type of black ops sort of thing that was there to spy on Russia. That's what the whole thing of the special material was all about, which I still think is a bunch of BS. I think something did in fact really crash there. It was a craft, in some type of craft, and that's what I think. That's my personal opinion. A lot of people can say that's BS. They say it was confirmed. Of course, you have Project Blue Book, which was basically the government's take on UFOs, and of course, unidentified flying objects. Aliens, everyone knows about the aliens. If you haven't watched any of your sci-fi stuff, or if you watch anything sci-fi based, of course you know what a gray alien looks like: the elongated head, the big black eyes, short stature. I think it was real. I'm not conspiracy theory to the point of I'm not going to put the tinfoil hat on and say it was faked. I know for a fact we did get there. I know for a fact there's a reflector grid on the moon that you can shoot a laser beam and have it come back. So I know that's It was put there, man-made. Someone put it there, so that is very much legit. But as far as the Roswell crash, it did happen. It is documented. It was a real event that did happen. But I think there was something there. I think it was more than just a weather balloon that went down. It was much more than that. You had metal that you could crimple up in your hand and let go and return to its normal form. None of that type of technology existed back then. Uh, Now, maybe. You probably have something very similar to that sort of smart metals nowadays. But also, let's talk about besides that situation, that Roswell itself. You got to talk about the big thing next to Roswell, which of course is Area 51. Area 51 is of course the super secret base in Nevada testing grounds, uh, which basically broke out where people really knew about it and actually heard about it really from Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar was, if you're not familiar with that person, he was a basically a physicist that got hired by in Nevada to do what was called reverse engineering the discs. He was actually in the discs. He knows how it works. It uses a special type of technology that basically to make it fly. It's why if you look at a disc, it's always all over the place. It zigs and zags. It has basically the way it's designed. From research I've done, has three graviton sort of. I guess think of them as long cylinders, and you can move these cylinders in different positions that allow the craft to change and bank and act differently because it affects gravity. It affects like gravitons. It doesn't move in a conventional locomotion way that we know. It uses something called element 151, I believe it's called, where basically to get energy to power the craft, you basically take a particle and you put it through a particle accelerator like a large hadron collider, but it's a much smaller scale. You take the element and you put it through this cyclotron and you collide it with a piece of matter to make antimatter. So when matter and antimatter collide, they expand 100% energy completely. So when they annihilate each other, you get complete and utter collision, and you get full energy. And they take that energy and they transfer it into the craft. That's what it basically does. If you ever watch any type of the YouTube stuff on Bob Lazar, he talks about this sort of stuff at length. I've done a lot of research on this guy. He seems to be legit. He knows stuff that your normal citizen really wouldn't know, unless you could say he's a crackpot. You can absolutely say he's going cuckoo, like he's nuts. But there's a lot to the guy that makes sense for what he's talking about. Definitely, if you never took a look at his stuff, definitely take a look at Bob Lazar. He's very, very cool to listen to. I mean, the guy knows his stuff. What do you guys think of aliens, Area 51, and Roswell? Hit me up in the chat, please. What do you guys think of it all? What do you think? You think it's a bunch of crap? You think it's all just a hoax? You think it's all just made up? Or do you think there's a layer of truth buried in all that stuff? Let me know in the chat, please. Let me know. Let me know. And there's one other thing I want to talk about. I didn't have it on here, but I didn't think I'd have time. But I think I have some time to talk about it here now. And that's the big one next to Area 51, which is like the Bermuda Triangle. I think that's a good thing to talk about as well, because there's a lot of stuff with Bermuda Triangle as well. This is just a conversation we're having. I mean, any one of these topics I could do probably a whole stream about if I really, really tried. I just wanted to kind of just piece it all together, get what my audience thinks about it all. I think it's very, very cool. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to all this stuff. No. Of course, I don't think they would. Only because if the government let the general public know about it, you would have mass hysteria. That's why they're really compartmentalizing everything. It's a need to know basis. Absolutely. Of course, we can always talk about MIB, Men in Black, not the movie, not the cartoon, but the terminology of Men in Black, where there's guys dressed up in black suits that make people hush people up when they see things that shouldn't be talked about. They say it's out there. I've never seen an MIB person, so I couldn't say if it's real or fake. But there's some semblance to it. Cool. Thanks for coming in, gentlemen. We're talking paranormal stuff and the supernatural. Really, AA. And the weird thing about the triangle, it's very very big. The triangle is huge. It's hundreds of miles across. There are people that can fly through it or drive through it or boat through it, and they're perfect 1 minute. Next minute, things happen. It's very very weird how the actual triangle really does anything. Of course, you have Flight 51. I believe it was called Flight 51. I think it was Flight 51, something like that. It was a group of bomber planes back in one of the wars. They were on a training flight mission where they got lost in the triangle. Very very well known bomber group that got lost. I want to say Flight 51, but probably not Flight 51. I'm getting confused between Area 51 and that one. But there was I think it was 5 bombers that got lost in the triangle. Let me Twitter it here. Let me confirm what my information here to make sure, because I know I'm close to it. Lost bombers in Triangle. I think it was called that. It was Flight 19. That's what it was. Flight 19. It was 5 bombers that got lost in the triangle. Their compasses just went crazy. Something with the triangle is definitely known to make the compasses really act up. They don't work properly. You can't get your bearings. It's like up is down and down is up. They can't tell which way is which. So it's very much a real thing that happens out there. Yep, Flight 19. I've done a lot of research into all of the supernatural stuff because there's a lot of wealth of information out there. If you don't believe in it, that's fine. If you do believe in it, that's cool too. Hey Tony, how's it going, sir? We're just talking about supernatural and the paranormal right now. Yeah, it's magnetic fields. It's all sorts of crazy stuff out there. But the odd thing is that 1 minute it works with no problem. You can fly right through that part of the triangle, and the next minute the same person flies through it again, and it goes all haywire. So there's no rhyme or reason of why plane A goes through and there's no issue, and then plane B goes through and it goes crazy. There's no telling why it does what it does. No one knows specifically what's going on. Tony, have you had any issues with, or have you ever had any interaction with spirits or demonic stuff? Do you believe in psychic abilities? Any type of alien interaction? Do you know about Area 51? Do you know who Bob Lazar is? That's who we're kind of talking about right now. That's the discussion currently. Well, I've been doing it in pieces as the stream has gone by so far. We're doing little pieces, bit by bit. And next week's going to be all about conspiracy theories. That's all next week's stuff. Hey, OMG, how's it going, sir? Thanks for coming into the stream. We're just talking about paranormal and supernatural stuff. More of an adult-based stream this time. Something a little different. Steer away from the kids stuff today. We're talking big-time stuff. Now, you never had anything like that happen to you? But you do know about, let's say, aliens. Yep. Could be. But, I mean, you've heard about spirits. You've heard about demonic stuff. You've heard probably about psychic abilities, ESP, the ability of bending a spoon with your mind. Of course, aliens, Area 51, which is a big one. Now we're talking a little bit about the Bermuda Triangle. Very, very odd area. But it's really, really big. I mean, it's hundreds of miles across. And, I mean, I think that's a place that has a lot of stuff going on out there that no one's really understands why things happen the way they do. At all. Absolutely. That's basically all the stuff I was talking about. If we want to talk about more about any of this stuff, we can always bring it up in chat. Leave it open to you guys. What do you guys think of all the paranormal stuff and supernatural stuff? Of course, not the TV show. Paranormal and the supernatural. Do you believe it's all a bunch of crap? Do you believe it's just some area of semblance? Do you think there's some truth behind it? Or is people just making up stuff to basically make a buck? Is this a money grab? I don't think so. I don't think it's a money grab at all. I think there's some validity in these areas of pseudoscience. People will rag on pseudoscience, which is the terminology that a lot of people that are in the science business will talk about. Yep, I saw it, Tony. I definitely saw it. I saw it on opening day. I saw it on opening day. I enjoyed it. Very much so. Good movie. Made over $1 billion right now, I believe, in its first what, week and a half, I believe it was. And the people just coming to the stream, the drink of choice today is Baja Blast Mountain Dew, the Taco Bell exclusive. So you can only get the stuff from Taco Bell. You're a horror nerd. Ooh, okay. Because you just came into the chat late, OMG. I just watched, I want to say 2 days ago, the Winchester movie. I'm not a big horror guy. I am completely a wimp when it comes to horror. I'm not a blood and guts sort of guy. But I thought the Winchester Mystery House movie was really, I thought it was good. I don't think it was great, but I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it. Of course, it's based on true events because of the house itself, not the events of the people in the house. Sarah Winchester didn't do all the, she did some crazy wacky stuff, but the other people in the movie I don't think had anything to do with the actual history of the house at all. It's cool to be a horror person. It's just not my thing. I'm a baby when it comes to horror. I mean, I used to see the Jason movies. I saw a couple Chucky movies. I saw a few Freddy movies. I think me and my girl are gonna watch The Conjuring 1, the first Conjuring. I've never seen it before. I think we're gonna watch that probably in a few days. I don't know what to expect from it because, again, I'm not a big horror person. So horror's not really my thing. It really kind of freaks me the hell out. But a lot of people like it. A lot of people like it. It definitely has its niche, but it's not my niche. Definitely not my niche. So what else you guys want to talk about as far as, if we keep it on track for paranormal and supernatural stuff? Anything else that I've not touched upon that you want to touch upon, please hit me up in the chat, please. Absolutely. Hit me up in the chat. What else do you want to talk about? Spirits, demonic stuff, psychic ability, aliens, angelic stuff. What else would you want to touch base on? Let me know. Let me know. Cool. Awesome. Come on. There we go. Sweet. Let's make sure the chat's still working. Excellent. Still okay. No, she's still. I thought we had some. So we're losing a lot of people in chat. That's fine. We have a few people still left. Not a problem at all. Most of the chat is done tonight, anyways. So let's throw it out maybe to some last bit, maybe a little bit of Q&A. We can do Q&A about paranormal, supernatural. We can do whatever. Hit me up, please. What do you guys want to talk about? It could be paranormal, it could be supernatural, or it could be anything else you guys want to discuss. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this because I thought it was a very, very interesting topic. A lot of people don't really talk about this stuff, so I thought it'd be a very good conversation piece. Absolutely. Absolutely. Put my notes over here. Good. Let me know what else you guys want to talk about. Excellent. What else you guys want to discuss? Later, Tony. Thanks for coming in the chat, my friend. Great to see you. Awesome. Have I ever seen a ghost? I've heard one. Never seen one. I don't know what I would do if I did see one. I don't know if it's the typical thought that people always talk about ghosts. Will you see a ball of energy? People always say, balls of energy, they always say they manifest as balls of energy. Will you see a real person, like a physical being, something standing there with period clothing on? I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I ever saw one. I'd probably piss myself. I'd probably piss myself. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know what I'd do if I saw a ghost. I believe so, Jackie. Hell yeah, I believe so. Is that where you're located, Jackie? Are you in Texas? Oh boy. That's a dangerous game, my friend, OMG. That's a dangerous game. Messing with a Ouija board. That's something I wouldn't mess with. I've seen them. I've never touched one. And it's funny because I think Milton Bradley makes a Ouija board. I believe it is of all companies. They actually make like the Ouija board. That's their thing, which is very 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 weird. But I never would want to touch one of those. No 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 no. I used to watch Ghost Adventures all the time. All the time. Absolutely. I used to watch it all the time. I don't have it right now, but I used to years ago watch Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters. Those are two ones I watched. They have a glow in the dark version of it now. Is it a Milton Bradley one? I'm assuming it's a Milton Bradley one. I believe the Ghost Adventure one is the guy that's kind of the big buff dude. He has black hair. He looks like probably like a rock star guy. He looks like a rock star guy. It was him and two other guys. There was one that was a tech guy, and a guy that was like wasn't a tech guy. He wasn't a tech guy. I know one guy that was a tech guy. It was a 3-man team. I believe it was a 3-man team for Ghost Adventures. Yeah, for Ghost Adventures. I want to say it's a 3-man team. Really interesting. I You have more. You have more. You're more brave than I am, OMG. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Hell no. Yeah. I wouldn't. I'm surprised Milton Bradley even made that. I mean, it must be a good seller for them. But I would never touch a Ouija board. That's just asking for trouble. That's just asking for trouble. No, 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 no. Nope. Ain't gonna go there. But I used to watch Ghost Adventures all the time. I used to watch the Ghost Hunters all the time. I would love to do like a yeah. It's weird where sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I don't know why it would work for one group of people and not another group of people. I don't get it. I don't know if it's a belief or people are messing around with the pointer and it's really doing things where it's not supposed to be doing things. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why it works for one group of people and not another. But it's crazy stuff. Absolutely silly stuff. I wouldn't mess with that stuff. No. No, 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 no. And have I ever been slimed before? AA? Nope. Um, I'm not important enough to be slimed. I've never been to Nickelodeon, never did anything like that before. Um, as far as ectoplasm version, though, no, never. I've never been hit by a ghost that ever ran through me before. So I don't know. Very, very odd. But yeah, I don't know why to go back to OMGs that Milton Bradley even made that. I don't know. I guess they got the rights to it or something. I guess. I mean, it sells. People buy them. I would buy one, but people buy them. What else you guys want to talk about? We got about 10 minutes left in the stream. Yeah, it's always you get those type of situations where you have one person swearing they're not doing anything and then moving the pointer around and later in the day is like, yeah, I was messing with you just to freak you out. Eh. When you have the actual, when you're not barely touching it and it starts moving around the board, then like I say one thing about that. Yeah, that's kind of odd. Where you have like Monopoly Ouija board. What? Very very odd. Absolutely, absolutely. But I don't. Like I said, it's kind of odd why Milton Bradley got the rights for that. Um, hey, if it works for him, makes some money, more power to him. More power to him. But again, not my thing. Hey, gentlemen, thanks for coming back, sir. We're just gonna be here for around another 10 minutes. I'm going to put the questions out to the audience right now. We're going to do some Q&A just for the last few minutes to wrap this up, because most of the stream is bailed, which is fine. I didn't think I'd get at least 5 people in the stream, and we had more than that. We had, I think, up to about 7 in this stream, because this is more of an adult-based stream. I didn't think I'd get that many people in the stream, but I'm happy that people stuck around. We're just going to finish it up for the next few minutes just to conclude the stream. We're going to do some Q&A. It could be paranormal, it could be supernatural, it could be anything right now. Anything you guys want to talk about. Open book. Open book. Whatever you guys want to chat about. Whatever you guys want to chat about. It is free game. Absolutely. If you didn't notice, over here, I put up the Marvin the Martian Filmation one. I saw a few of the episodes. A few. I saw a few of them. It was disjointed. I didn't know what was going on. It wasn't that bad of a show. Not at all. It wasn't really that bad at all. I used to watch Buffy. I used to watch Angel. I didn't watch the entire series. I saw a few seasons here and there. Good stuff. I saw the first season of Preacher. I haven't seen the second season at all. Good stuff, though. Absolutely. I did watch a little bit of it. I did see the full season of the Dresden Files. If you've never read that book, I highly, highly recommend it. It's by Jim Butcher. It's a very cool book. It's about a wizard in Chicago. The only wizard that has his name in the phone book. It's Jim Butcher's main character. My girl actually mentioned that to me today. Ghost Whisperer. I've never seen that show. She mentioned it was a good show. Which abandoned stores, Jackie? Which abandoned stores? Never watched Ghost Whisperer. I don't know which stores they are. Don't know. I do not know. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, it's funny because when you watch a lot of, let's say, sitcoms or a lot of shows on TV, it happens to me all the time, where I could be talking about whatever. They could be saying whatever they want in dialogue, and I'll usually end the statements for the next person that would have their next reply. I do that all the time. I see it a lot. Favorite Alien movie? Now, are we talking Alien as far as the movie franchise Alien? Or are we talking alien, creature in space, alien, traditional gray alien? Which alien are you talking about? If the question is my favorite Alien movie, I like Aliens from the Alien franchise, if that's what you're talking about. I think one of my favorite Alien movies might be. I think it's messed up because it's based on a true story, which is Fire in the Sky. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It was a guy I think he was like a logger, or he was set up a builder, and it's based on a true event where the guy was hit by a beam of light from a UFO and was taken aboard, and he was missing for like a week. It's a good movie. It's messed up. It's really messed up. It's called I believe it's called Fire in the Sky. Really? You actually went to the Queen Mary. Never been there. That's very, very cool. Is it the Queen Mary, which is like the paddleboat wheel ship? Or the big battleship? I think they have a battleship called the Queen Mary or something like that. Let me see here. Hold on. Maybe I'm just getting them confused. Hold on. Let me look here 1 second. The Queen Mary. It's probably the paddle boat. It might be. It might be the paddle boat. It might be the paddle boat, the big boat. Ah, that one. Okay, that I know what you're talking about. The Queen Mary. I think it's that one. Right, A. That one. If that's the one you're talking about, I think it's the most haunted boat ever, from what I've heard. Um, Crazy place. Never been there. Never been there. I don't know if I could actually force myself there. That would just be a crazy place to go to. Absolutely nutty. I'll just be a little chicken if I did something like that. Never went to I've never been to a haunted place before, so I don't know what to expect. Oh, it's absolutely haunted, at least from what I've heard. Absolutely, absolutely. Heck yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. What's your favorite alien movie, OMG? Never been to the Queen Mary. South Carolina has a lot of haunted places. I think they would have a lot of haunted places only because it's near the South. You had a lot of war down in that area. You had a lot of conflict there. Absolutely. You would have a lot of stuff like that happening in that location. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So we have about 2 minutes left, guys. Anything else you guys want to talk about before I cut the stream off? I'm going to cut it exactly at 10 today. Next week, most likely, is going to be conspiracy theories, keeping on track of this dialogue of more adult-based streams next couple of weeks or so. Everyone used to love E.T. I love E.T. Who doesn't? So next week, yeah, it's going to be conspiracy theories. We're going to do conspiracy theories. We'll talk about MK Ultra, the JFK assassination. The only thing I'm not going to talk about, I mentioned it during the beginning of the stream, is I'm not going to touch base on the 9/11 conspiracy, only because it's very, very sensitive. There's a lot to it. I can believe Kurt Cobain's house is haunted. I wouldn't doubt that at all. So the 9/11 conspiracy, I think we won't talk about. People could talk about the moon landing conspiracy. We could talk about that. The one I want to touch base and talk a lot about is MK Ultra, because that's a very crazy conspiracy. And there's a lot of, because with conspiracy comes fact. There's always facts to every conspiracy. There's a bit of truth buried inside any conspiracy you ever think. You may think it's all wrong, but there's some nugget, some grain of truth there. Yep, cool. Thanks for coming in. OMG, thank you guys for coming into the stream. It was more, like I said, more adult-oriented on this stream. I didn't think I'd get a lot of people, but I want to thank you guys for coming into my stream as always. Thank you guys for sticking around. And with that, we're going to be cutting the stream in 3. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Thanks for stopping by. See you guys next stream. Take care. And bye-bye.